Since ancient times, there is an idiom in the Buddhist school that says, one man, having a vegetarian diet, will rejoice 1,000 Buddhas, and his 7-generation ancestors can be released from sufferings. This is a fact. A phrase of Buddha's name can dispel disasters and resolve grievances, turning the fierce land into coolness. If you don't believe me, I'll give you one thing to prove it. This story happened at the Elegance Church in Hsinchu, Taiwan. That is a preaching site of the Pure Land School opened by a propagator of the Taichung Lotus Association. Since its establishment in April of 1955 till now, 1969, we continued to go there to preach Dharma every other week. Among them is a male Lotus friend called Brother Plier. One day, Brother Plier told the propagator, "It is really good to know the school of reciting Buddha, which can benefit all living beings, and I have a great inspiring response." The propagator asked him, "What kind of inspiring response do you have when you recite the Buddha?" Plier said, "A tomb of my ancestors is weird. For a long time, we could neither go to clean the tomb nor enshrine ancestors. If people enshrine and come back, they will be either sick or dead. If shepherd boys take cattle and sheep to eat the grass or trample on the tomb soil, after they return home, the people and animals will either die immediately or suffer serious illnesses. Because of this, the local people dare not invade this cemetery." Until the year of Japan's surrender and Taiwan's recovery, a cousin of Plier said to him, "The tombstone of our strange tomb is now half red. If we go to clean the tomb, our children and grandchildren will definitely become prosperous." Plier said, "I dare not think about that, and I don't want to rely on the tomb to make a fortune. Since you're not going, I'll go and clean it myself," said the cousin. On the day of the festival, his cousin prepared meat and wine for the ceremony and went to the tomb to enshrine the ancestor. 1 month after this incident, all the 3 boys of his cousin died. Think about it, everyone, is this thing terrible? I believe that no one has ever heard such weird things. After the floods on August 7, 1959, another cousin came to him again and said, "I passed by that strange place yesterday and saw that the tombstone was soaked and fell. One side of the tomb was washed with a big hole. If the tomb is not repaired, it will definitely collapse. If you need to repair it, you will not even dare to move it, because if you move it, it will cause a catastrophe. What should we do?" "It doesn't matter, I'll repair it," said Plier. The cousin said happily, "If you are really sure to repair it, I will provide wages and all material, lime and cement, but when will you start?" "Wait another month," said Plier. Since Plier heard about the Pure Land School, he had never interrupted his homework in the morning and evening for several years. Since the day he promised to repair the strange tomb with confidence, after finishing his homework, he would transfer the merit to the ancestors of the weird tomb and earnestly plead with the Buddha and the Bodhisattva. "May Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless me. After I believe in Buddhism, my relatives and friends say that I am superstitious and outdated. I shall request for manifesting boundless Dharma to them this time. After the tomb is repaired, I wish that unfortunate incidents and disasters won't happen again for humans and livestock." He prayed like this every morning and evening after the practice. The night before the repair project started, he pleaded even more earnestly. At midnight, he had a dream. He dreamed of a tomb, sitting north and facing south. There was a stream in front of it, and the stream was clear and flowing forward. There were 2 tall trees on both sides of the tomb. The tombstone fell, and a hole was exposed at one side of the tomb, which looked very decadent and desolate. Suddenly, a fierce woman came out of the tomb, dressed in ancient costumes. At that time, Brother Plier was very scared and immediately recited Namo Amitabha Buddha with his palms together. Many men and women were standing aside and watching. One old man among them said to Plier, "This woman was the most vicious female ghost before. Because his descendants recite the Buddha, now he has become a good ghost. Plier saw and heard that clearly, but when he woke up, it was actually a dream. He thought that this scene in the dream must be manifested by the Buddha and Bodhisattva, with great compassion and mighty power, who brought me to see it first. Then I can rest assured to repair the tomb tomorrow. The next morning his cousin came and said, Plier, I brought the assistant worker and all the cement and other utensils, and you may go now. Plier said, I will ask you the situation of the tomb and the surrounding environment. Is the person buried in that tomb a woman, right? After listening to his description, his cousin was surprised and said, Have you seen it in advance, or how would you know? I dreamed of it last night, said Plier. Plier bought fragrant flowers and fruits and brought a textbook. When he went to the tomb, he found it was as same as the scene he had seen in his dream last night. Plier arranged the flowers and fruits, lit the joss sticks and candles, and said, I am here especially to fix your grave today. First, I will recite the Amitabha Sutra, the mantra of rebirth, and the holy name of the Amitabha Buddha. If you sincerely recite the Buddha, you may be released from suffering and obtain happiness. Never harm people again. Not only not to harm your family but also not to harm others. After speaking, Plier recited the sutra and chanted the Buddha in front of the tomb, then began to weed, loaded the soil, and did other sorting work. Then he washed the stone tombstone, which was engraved with his grandfather and grandmother's names. Since then, Plier and the assistant worker are still safe, nothing has happened. Having said that, some must not believe it. Why does a ghost have such a long lifespan? Everyone, please read what it says in the Buddhist scriptures. The shortest lifespan of the beings fallen in the ghost realm is 500 years old. And a month in the world is only a day in the ghost realm. Then you know that the lifespan of ghosts is long and bitter. Some people may wonder why their ancestors will harm their children and grandchildren. It is said in the Buddhist scriptures, all living beings hold on to their view, that is, living in the 6 realms, you strive and I rob. Kill each other, mutually make cause and effect, repay gratitude, grievances, or debts, and so on. Plier's ancestors in the past of the Weir tomb must have forged severe grievances that were unsolved ever since. That's why it was so fierce and harmful. If Plier didn't have faith in the Buddha, without the Buddha's great compassion, this grievance might not be resolved. Therefore, I advise you everyone, let's often recite Namo Amitabha Buddha.